Okay, so let's head on over and do this Final Fantasy 1 preview. It is not guaranteed to be the next event. We still don't have timestamps, so we don't know. But Hugh, I saw while I was sleeping, did made some progress on that front. We do have timestamps, we just don't have what's it? Labels on the timestamps, so we don't have any events to actually assign to them. So it's but we're getting somewhere. But for now, because of the way that these occurred in Japan, we can assume that Final Fantasy 1 will be next. And that will be on January 31st. Maybe. And you know, honestly, it makes sense that this event would occur on January 31st because that is one day after the launch of, well, Dissidia Opera Omnia, Dissidia NT, and Final Fantasy 1 in this game is very much a kind of a Dissidia realm because most of these characters, or at least the powerful ones, Garland and Warrior of Light are Dissidia characters. But as a new character that we will definitely get with this event is Thief. And I'll actually go back and take a look at Maya as well, because there's a possibility that we may get Maya as part of the event. So, taking a look at Thief, we got Combat 4, Celerity 5, Thief 5, sure. Typical Thief things going on here, low attack. Medium attack up and small res up when equipping daggers. Bad. Record dive, 9% thief damage, 3% dagger damage. Sure. 9% dagger damage and slow resist. That's cool. Yeah, it's like Mobius and Dissidia together equals Final Fantasy 1. Sarah also gets her Legend Dive. As yet another character that just by default is better than Ishtola. 9% white healing and double silence resist. Matoya, 9% BLK damage and double sleep resist. Good. Echo doesn't really deal damage with their soul breaks, so the BLK damage is a little weird. Double sleep resist. And double sleep resist and water damage on Maya. Legend materia for these characters. Sarah, 35% chance to dual cast. Good. Echo, increased duration of stat debuffs by 40%. Right, we get Echo, Sarah, Matoya, Thief, and Maya. My god. Not Master? It's weird. Matoya, 35% chance to dual cast witch abilities. Good if she can use witch abilities well, which we do find out as looking at the banners that she can use witch abilities well. Maya, 30% chance to grant quick cast 3 after using a water attack. It's a decent dive. 35% chance to dual cast thief abilities for Thief. It's okay. It's not really a damage dealer though. He's like a... He's weird. We'll talk about Thief when we get to his relics. Which we'll do right now. So we have 4 6 stars back on the banner. The minor blip on the radar, which was the Type 0 banner, or Type 0 event, is gone and should be over with. It's all 4 6 stars at the top of banners from now on. Or more. So Garland's Rebellion is a 10 single target, dark non-elemental physical damage, and dark gain quick cast 1, and additionally cast Chase of Chaos when using darkness abilities. It is itself a dark weapon, and Chase of Chaos is only a 2-hit chase, but its advantage here is the fact that it's an HP drain, which allows him to use a much stronger paired ability with it, which would be Crimson Cross. Because you use Crimson Cross, you damage yourself, and then the chase then triggers after and heals you after the fact. Is it good? It is good. It's not like super powerful. It's a sword type relic. I don't know. Let's go see. Rebellion is a sword, yes. How strong is the chase? It is nice that he gains quick cast 1. He does have a trance mode quick cast. Oh. Chaos follow-up. It's a 1.82, so it is only 2 attacks, but they're strong attacks. So that's a good chase combined with him using basically a snow spell strike for his nuke ability. Oh, okay, Blyven. So this is actually a pretty strong USB. Because Garland is going to hit hard. And if he has his trance active, he's going to hit hard. He's going to hit fast. So that's a good one, especially the fact that it's a Darkness Sword as well. Next up, we have Sarah's USB, which does a whole lot of useful things. Attack and magic plus 30%, shell, haste, and HP stock 2000. This is a great starter soul break in a fight. Just being able to get that shell off with an HP stock 2000s on the first action of a fight with your healer means you really don't need a whole lot more with her when you consider that she dual casts with her LM2. I really like this USB. She's a bard as well, so if you ever need a cast speed modifier for a mage team, she can provide it. If you have a second, and that HP stock 2000 can sometimes provide you with that, second. Anyway, I really like the USB. It's pretty simple. It would be a weird playstyle that not a lot of us are used to, because getting your attack and your party buff and your party Heiska from your healer is not common. It's something that was common when I was messing around in the 3-star Magicite, because I was using Onion Knight, but that's not a thing anymore, at least not for the time being, until Ninja Mode USB and better defenses like using Dampen Magicites. Because right now 4-star Magicites deal too much damage to us for Onion Knight to be a solo healer, I think. Anyway, this is a really good USB. Master's USB hopefully comes with his Legend Dive. Which was supposed to debut with the record missions, but since we didn't get record missions, they didn't, so let's hope they include it in this event. Master's USB is 10 single targets, self-attack and resistance plus 30%, high critical, has 50% increased critical damage, and cast Unarmed Champion 3 when landing a critical hit. Let's check out what this Unarmed Champion thing is. It's just 4 single target physical damage, but he's got to land a critical hit to do it. That's kind of stink. Why? Because he has no way using his USB to give himself crit mode, or a crit buff. So he has a very low percentage chance to crit. He needs access to his Burst Soul Break. Very similar to how Refia works right now. Let me tell you from experience, it's not that great. It would be fine if you have an external crit buff, like with Onion Knight. But using this USB and Burst Soul Break together, it just kind of fails. So yeah, unfortunate. But if you do get both of them together and you can spare and entrust them, then he can be powerful. And I have seen that when using Refia. She just really requires using both of her soul breaks. And that's kind of a resource draw. I wish she didn't. I'd be in much better hands if I didn't need that external crit buff. Okay, so Master's USB could be good, but by itself, not so much. Garland OSB, good because his USB is here, so that's fine. Earthbreaker itself is an RS dark damage. Yeah, it's not all realms. All right, moving into the Burst Soul Break section with Garland's Claymore, which is plus dark damage, but this is 5-star relics now. 8 single target, dark non-elemental, and dark burst mode. This burst mode is going to look very familiar. Chain cast, 2 single target, dark, self circle of power up to 3. Twist drill, 4 to 7, dark non-elemental physical with number of hits, multiplier, and critical rate scales with the circle of power attacks. It is exactly Squall's Burst Soul Break 2, except dark instead. Not as good as Squall, because Garland does not have a form of dual cast. So where Squall can dual cast his abilities and charge up faster and then dual cast these 7-hit mega crit multiplier bombs, Garland can't do that. What Garland has that Squall doesn't is a form of quick cast. His LMR Trance will give him quick cast, which is, I would say, not as good as the dual casting that Squall has, but it's still pretty good. And when I say pretty good, I mean when you can combine something this powerful with at least something that's pretty good, then you've got a very powerful character on your hands. So there's a few forms that allow Garland to be a really good character on this banner, and I kind of like that. Like, you can throw Mithril at this, and as long as you get one of these configurations that makes Garland good, then you're in good hands. If your aim on the banner was to go for physical dark damage, a healer, this is probably the strength of the banner right here, is physical dark damage plus one of the best healers in the game. Master is one of the best non-elemental damage dealers in the game, but requires some maintenance. Okay, next up we have Sarah's Burst Soul Break. Is a good Burst Soul Break just by itself. And would be a good thing to have with her USB. I would even say that given her USB and Burst Soul Break, it may even be worth giving Sarah to entrust in a fight, just so she can have her USB and Burst Soul Break active on something like Tiamat, because that would be a very powerful amount of healing coming just from Sarah. Magic Blink, Medica's HP stock. It's actually pretty powerful. Master, yeah, I just talked about his Burst Soul Break. Gives him that crit fix that he needs, and Last Stand as well. And he has a second command that gives him a buff that reduces his cast speeds. So really, his Burst Soul Break, just like Refia, is the thing that makes the engine work with Master. I think this is his best Soul Break. And then you can add on to it from there with his USB. Next up, we have Echo's Burst Soul Break, which is a Penta Break. It's a Penta Break on a Dancer support. It's good. Wall's Burst Soul Break, a full breakdown. Not good. Sarah's LMR, low chance to trigger Medica when using Bard abilities. Well, that certainly allows for getting a little more greedy and using Bard abilities with her while she's supposed to be healing. The 12 indicates it's just minor dark resistance. Echo, low chance to trigger minor proportional... Oh, okay, so she also has a chance to Medica, but it's not based on her mind, but max HP percentage when using Dancer abilities. So it's very similar to Sarah's, just based off max HP instead of mind. Good. Echo's a pretty damn good Dancer. Just, you know, it's on a Dancer. Garland's Demon Mail, I talked about this twice. It's good for both his USB form and his Burst Soul Break form. So that's a very valuable Legend Materia Relic on the banner. Master's Legend Materia Relic. When using Monk abilities, low chance to increase next attack damage by a medium amount. Good. What's the low chance? Non-elemental abilities thrive on damage boosts. 25% chance to... No, it doesn't. It's not a damage increase, it's an attack increase. Never mind. Not as good anymore. And Master's Super Soul Break. 8 single target. Self-attack and defense plus 30% in Instacast 2. As far as Super Soul Breaks go, it's pretty good. Alright, so when I did the distant preview on this banner, I definitely came out favoring this banner more than the second, even though the second has two pretty powerful relics on it. This banner has more. It's got a very powerful physical dark character. It has one of the best healers in the game. A very good burst for that healer. A very good burst that really is not just very good, but like team-defining bursts for Garland on a physical dark team. And it's got Master, who is a very powerful non-elemental damage dealer. Honestly, it's tough to make a case for the banner if you're not feeling Master. Because if you take that away, then what have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6. Okay, so this could be a good banner. Just Garland and Sarah alone account for a lot of good things. Now add in Master's USB and BSB, and then you have a pretty good banner. I think 6 things does make for a good banner, but like I laid down, you know, the ground rules for what I feel like this season is going to be about. And that's, is this banner good enough to take away Mithril from 3rd Anniversary? This banner is not, but it is also in a bit of a unique position. Physical darkness. There is no darkness on the 3rd Anniversary banners. And there is a strong healer on the 3rd Anniversary banners in Aphmau on the 1st banner. With her USB and Burst Soul Break and LMR, I think. But that's not guaranteed. Because those would be all old things that are returning. We don't know how that's going to work out. Oh my god, streamers online. Where are all of these events coming from? It usually isn't that populated. Oh, people planning like a week in advance. Okay. So that's one draw to this banner. Third Anniversary can't reliably cover what this banner accomplishes in healing and physical dark. So if you are very specifically weak in those two places, I almost am. I really need a healer. And me doing the 4-star Magicites that just launched has made me very much aware of that. I need a healer. So having Sarah would be great. But I'm actually really set on Dark because I have Seymour's Chain. So I'm not that, enthusiastic about getting Garland's things. That makes this banner an easy skip. So, see what I just did there? You can do that. You can accomplish and figure out whether or not this banner suits your needs. And it needs to specifically suit your needs because it is kind of on the edge of being good. So moving on to banner 2, we have Matoya's USB. Gaia Gear is minor petrify resist. Oh. Well, status resist on armor is not a bad thing, so that's okay. That's actually pretty neat. So Crystal Spell, USB. 10 single target, fire, ice, lightning, magic, self, magic, and resistance plus 30%. Gain quick cast 1 when using witch abilities. And cast push B select when exploiting weakness. So it's a witch quick cycle with a chase. I just evaluated something similar to this in the future, but there's a big difference on that one. Yeah, this is actually a good USB. A witch quick cycle is a good thing because witch abilities are, they're a pain in the ass to use quickly. But if you can quick cast all of them out, now you're talking. It makes them actually pretty decent. And you get a chase on top of that. Let's take a look at the chase itself. Well, 4 times fire, ice, and lightning physical damage. Matoya actually turns into a decent character with her USB. It's not going to blow your socks off. It's more like you want to bring this character onto a team with a chain. And it's nice that she can work on 2 different teams because of the ice and lightning witch abilities. Does it suffer a significant penalty for the tri-element? Let's see. A32, it does not. For instance, this is, I believe, Creel's follow-up. When she has an R5 ability, 852. That is what basically the S tier of magic chases. 832 is very, very close to that. But right, the fact that she doesn't have an element is why she herself doesn't really do that damage, which is why this character is good when brought onto a team with chains. Because then the N element matters less. She will charge the chain so quickly that eventually those 6 hits that she's doing, not only 6 hits, but 10 hits because of the chase, are going to do so much damage because of the chain. You're not missing something. Which abilities are, on the whole, pretty bad. There are only very, very specific characters in the game that can take advantage of them well. Matoya is one of them. I believe 3 characters. I think Shantoto, Adia, and Matoya. That's it. Is there anybody else? Okay. So that's what Matoya does. If you've got those chains, lightning and fire. No, lightning and ice. Then you're actually in a pretty decent situation with this. Next up, we have Warrior of Light, USB. It's okay. It's unholy, and it gives him 15% increased light damage, as well as a defense buff. So it's for him to use Guardbringer. It's all right. It's kind of on the low end for holy USBs. Next up, we have Warrior of Light's Chain. This is a hell of a lot better. Holy Chain, obviously a really good thing. HB stock 2000, one of the lesser effects, but it's fine because it's still a Holy Chain on a character that can deal a lot of holy damage by himself because of Assault Saber, which is coming in a couple weeks, and Guardbringer. 8 and 3rd Anniversary. 3rd Anniversary has a Squall and Lightning banner that's very powerful in both Lightning and Ice. And next up we have Garland's Chain. So this banner is kind of interesting. This is like 3rd Anniversary Banner 0. Because the 3rd Anniversary banners have all the chains, have all the elements covered when it comes to chains, except for Holy and Dark. That's this banner. This banner is considerably less powerful than 3rd Anniversary banners, though. So we know that these chains are here. Let's take a look at the rest of the banner and see if it can support trying to go after these. Thief Burst Soulbreak, 0 cast time. 10 single target, random win bio, physical damage, enemy attack and defense plus minus 50%. Burst mode. This could have been a really good burst. If in the future they had decided that the re-release of the Torment Dungeons were more susceptible to stat debuffs than Magicites were, because that would mean a Final Fantasy I team would use Thief as a support, and with a 0 cast time debuff Burst Soul Break, Thief would be in a great position to, like, be a huge member of a squad. But because it is only a 30% vulnerability, it's more apt to say 70% resistance to debuffs, then there is really no point in which this burst becomes good at the higher levels of content. You're going to see value from this burst in stuff like Crystal Tower, where debuffs are only 40%, or sorry, 50% resistant. So now that we got to Thief's Bursts, now I can talk about his Legend Materia. This is my problem with Thief, is that he's not really that much of a damage dealer. It is nice that this is 0 cast time, but he doesn't have all that much going for him from there. So he, rather than be a strict damage dealer, he turns into pretty much wind and bio damage dealer. So basically wind. So he's mono elemental, and he's a debuffer, which makes him not all that useful. There's very, very few situations where Thief is a good character, which means you're not going to Legend Dive him. So his LM2 is not all that useful. Matoya's Burst Soul Break is bad. Warrior of Light's Burst Soul Break is fine. It's fine because his chain is here, so it's a way for him to get Unholy. And it's a Holy Shield, so that's nice. Garland's first Burst Soul Break is really bad. Maya. I didn't talk about Maya. Let's go talk about her. Because we may be getting her. Though it would be a trivial matter to remove her from this banner because she just has her BSB and LMR here. Oh man, not enough LMR in Final Fantasy 1. They'd have to put a Super Soul Break on this banner. It would make it even worse. Alright, so Maya is a summoner. Dagger Rod Stabs. with Black Magic 5, Summoning 5, and Witch 4. Right, she has a quick cast LM2. Her Burst Soul Break is 6 area of effect. Oh no, Water Mage. That's not good. Oh, so this is a burst we were supposed to get a very long time ago. But since Maya was not released in Global Mobius at the time that we got that event, it never ended up happening. And that's why you see a very underpowered burst here. She does give herself a magic bargain with magic plus 30% and defense minus 30%. But it doesn't do any damage. So that's a kind of a wasted turn. And if she does have the summoning mode, she gets an increased multiplier on a second burst command, which is no longer relevant because it's a lower multiplier than Chain Waterga or Ogopogo. So that's a pretty bad burst. Matoya, medium witch damage up when equipping stabs. That's fine. Thief is wind armor, and this is a medium chance to increase enemy guild drops by 30% when equipping daggers. It is the worst LMR in the game. Vesna Krasna is water damage up on light armor, so that's nice. Start battle with them water, but if we don't get Maya, we don't get this. Warrior of Light's LMR, up to medium attack based on number of hits received. That stinks. It's also not holy armor. Thief's Mithril Knife. 8 to 11 single target win bio physical where number of hits scales with speed. This is just like Lions and enemy attack or magic and defense minus 50%. That's, yeah, that's nice for a super. Magic and defense is pretty nice debuff. We know that because Vaughn has been as good as he is for a while, but Vaughn's is 0 cast time, so that changes that. Yeah, the rank boosts on Alpha Node's USB only affects abilities. Burst commands are considered to have a rank of 0, I think. It's either 1 or 0. Either way, it's not much going on. Right. I think Jimbo just said it best, is this banner has 2 chains, automatically going to make for a Great Realm banner. A kind of good Holy USB and a potentially good Ice and Lightning USB. Depending on your situation. The thing is, you know, it's like a hedge that I don't like, is that if this is good for you, then you already have the chain for Ice and Lightning. I don't know if you're looking for going from a toy, so it really creates a real specific situation. I need the chains, and I already have the Ice and Lightning chains. Okay, now I'm interested in this banner. But even then, this is probably the best burst you're looking at here. Everything else is kind of not good. Warrior of Lights is fine because it's a holy shield and it does give him unholy, so that's something. But there is a whole lot of bad stuff on this banner. But this banner could change. If Maya doesn't show up here, they may mix it up. And who knows what it'll turn into. Maybe miraculously Maya's Burst of Soul Break and LMR turn into something usable. I don't know how. And I'm not going to muse about it. I can talk about that when the banner actually launches, if it happens. And that's another observation from Jimbo, is not a lot of 5 stars are really all that useful anymore. What you're looking for from banners is a banner with good 6 stars, with good LMR that are meant to be used with those 6 stars, and the rare chance that a Burst Soul Break is high powered. And this is why I am currently preaching the philosophy. Are these banners good enough to take away from your 3rd anniversary mithril? Because 3rd anniversary's banners have 5 6-stars on them. Five 6-stars and LMR that work with those 6 stars. They're just going to be good banners, and it's going to be hard for these event banners to live up to that. Yeah, Echo Burst Soul Break 1 could take this place, and the LMR could just turn into any Super Soul Break in the realm, because there's only 1, 2 on these banners. I would bet Warrior of Light. His Physical Blink Super is actually not that bad, but it's not instacast, so it's hard to make it work against Ixion. But you could. Anyway, I think even with 2 chains on the banner, it's a reach. The first banner will have people that
Thanks for the preview.
Could be pulling here. Thank you very much, Jimbo.